Many people would look at these Nantucket Lightship baskets and say, it takes a lot of time, it takes a lot of perseverance. This is too tedious for me, and I could not do that. So I said, let me take a crack at it. My name is John David Walton. I started making Nantucket Lightship baskets in '94. My mentor was Harry Hilbert in New Canaan, Connecticut, and his work is in the Smithsonian Institute and the Fine Arts Museum in Boston. One of his baskets just sold for $50,000. And because they weren't made in Nantucket, he would call them non-Tucket baskets. I was fascinated with the symmetry of the baskets, the design, the materials, and the quality of the finishing, the many details that it took to make a basket. Each year I experimented myself, trying to make staves and the baskets until I was able to operate all the equipment. It was a slow process, but it was a good process. And his philosophy was, if it's not right, throw it out and do it over again. I was, in effect, an apprentice for him for 4 years. Okay, well, this basket is an oblong ladies' basket. The base is made out of mahogany. The handle is made out of red oak. There must be 125 staves in that, and they're all made out of red oak. Rims made out of mahogany. These are all different grains. These clamshells are ivory. This is all hand carved here. Harry developed that mark, and every basket that I've made has the same design. And when they're made right, you can't squeeze them. The quality and the firmness of the basket. This is a compass rose, but it's got satinwood in it. And satinwood, when the light hits it, there's depth to it. So that makes it a very interesting wood to work with. My wood shop was a wonderful place where I could go, and all the molds were hanging from the ceiling. It just had a feeling of you can make something that will last a lifetime. Well, a favorite memory was the completion of the lid on that basket there. This lid has about 6 layers in it, little pieces that would be maybe 1.25 inches, 1.5 inches long, and very thin. And that precludes warping. That was one of the most difficult things that I did, was to get that absolutely perfect, and there's no warp whatsoever in there. I can't tell you how many pieces of mahogany are in there. My advice for a young basket maker is you've got to have the time and you've got to have the patience to deal with this. A round basket, maybe 6 inches tall, could take you maybe 50, 60 hours to make. A handle would take 15 hours to make. A lid would take you up to 25, 30, 40 hours to make. Once the basket is finished, the reed that comes that you make the basket from is white. As Harry would say, if you take that finished basket that's white and put it in a windowsill, in 50 years it would turn the patina you would want. The finishing process is equally as important. These baskets have 8 to 10 layers of finish on them. You got to keep your eye on the finished product, and until you've got that right, and many people don't have that patience, so they should never even start the thing. But these baskets will go on forever. They never wear out.